Hello, this is Argentus Maximus with Rhythm and Price, issue number 173, dated the 10th of August 2014. And I'd like to say welcome to Rhythm and Price subscribers, and because this is the weekend edition, also welcome to all of those of you from tfmetalsreport.com. Now, it's a long time since I did an analysis of gold against the euro, the gold-euro cross. Now, the difficulty, of course, working with gold-euro is a lack of back information, because the euro, of course, is not a currency with a history going back 10 or 20 or, well, 10 at least, but doesn't go back 50 years like we can with the dollar. So all of the information for our analysis must be generated from the last 5 years or thereabouts of price history. And to a large extent that doesn't create a problem, but it does mean that very long-term support and resistance lines are unavailable. They can, however, be inferred from the more recent price action. So in some cases I may appear to be drawing some support and resistance in that it might not be apparent where it comes from. If that happens, what I'm doing is I'm putting in levels which I have imputed from long-term figures which are not there, but which I know where they would be. And for the purposes of this analysis, I'm just going to limit it to trend lines. I think that's enough for the time we have available. Now, starting with the monthly chart, it is apparent that the reversal in gold, the absolute high, took place in 2012, unlike the dollar cross where the high took place in 2011. So in the euro there is a the bear market. It can be said that the bear market begins later. So the bear market in the euro is a younger and came on more suddenly affair than that which is visible in the dollar. So we must always bear that in mind. Now the next thing is to try and come up with some support and resistance levels, and I'll see what I can do there. The first place would be if we work on across these highs here, we get a break which came through there. The next place would be if we work off this horizontal level. Not so pretty, but we get a price level there. We can bisect the distance between the two consolidations and take one off of there, and it's confirmed by this. And what else is there? We can take across this high here and come down there, but we've already surpassed it. We can take off the high there and come in there, which we've not yet. We came back off there, but we haven't reached it at this point. Is there anything else available from the monthly chart? Possibly across there. It's a consolidation, probably wiping out the support there. I'm inclined not to use that. I mean, there is a possible of that one there, which contains that little consolidation. But for the point of view of saying where is the bottom on gold, there is this level here, which of course is coming off a pretty huge bar there, and you could shift it up and down $50 at absolutely no problem. So off the monthly chart, not a lot of help. Now let's move in, and now we're looking at the weekly. So I'll pull that in a little bit, and we have the whole consolidation there. I don't think we need prices on this. So once again, let's do trend lines and see if we can come up with more information. The first is that we have a high here and we have a higher high there, which is unlike the dollar. And I suppose the next thing to do is to try and establish what trading range. And you can place a trading range here, which we broke down out of. Have we doubled the trading range? I think it's clear that we've actually done a bit more than that. What else can be got from this? Well, I suppose parallel line can be taken in to try and get the expansion of the trading range. You could have an upper level or of our consolidations at the moment. and let's maybe pan back, see if we can get any more, and we can come down to about there, which is lower level of our consolidation. Price having broken down through it but not remained. So there is kind of a wide band of trading there now. So if I try and do downtrends, let's see what's possible. I'll wind her up, but that's good enough there to work with. So I can take off this consolidation here, and the market's already broken it. We can take off this one here, and I don't think we've gotten to it yet. So we are now in this zone here, boxed in by these lines, which each line of course has buyers on one side and sellers on the other. And let us try and see what else we can come up with. Working on that one there, we are coming up with a fan type construction, and it's apparent that the market has been descending at steep rate, then descending at not so steep rate, then descending at a shallower rate, and the question is how far it goes before it basically comes down and then breaks out through the final trend line. So we'll take that next. And here's our first descent, and the second one is now in place. There's the third, and the next one can be characterized like that. So overhead resistance a little bit closer than that big distant trend line can be obtained. There is a zone which can be seen here. Let's edit that, and it extends down to there. So there's this gap here which the market broke down through, which will represent overhead resistance. We can also take a few more levels. Now we have our two new orange trend lines, which give us a little bit of a tighter picture as to where the market is going. And I think at this point we need a final support line to say that when the next pull down comes, where it's likely to end. I take a parallel to here and bring it down to here, take it off this pivot, which now provides the lower end of the trading range, as it pretty much is real time. And still missing something. Yes, we need a rising trend line to give us the short-term uptrend, which goes through here. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Lighten it up. So in the circumstances, it's reasonable to expect gold to trade in its trading range. It'll come back here, it'll get caught up in this area, it'll break down. When it goes through the rising trend, there will be a slight gap. So gold will go sideways, it'll come down, it'll break through that, and then it will descend at this speed. No shallower than this speed, most likely this one. Therefore it will be boxed in this area, and it will work its way down. And the next question is, at what point will it find support? And I think we find support sitting down here on this trend line, and the question is how long it takes. If gold comes down underneath this, it will make a new low against the euro. If it comes down over this or in it, it may actually find support around this area, but I think the odds are a slight ticking into a new low area, 825 to 850-ish, after which gold will take off rather steeper. This is our most recent ascent rate, and the next ascent rate after that would be about 30% faster. So we'll see if I can get an indication of that now. And it would be something like that, although actually I'm feeling that that is underestimating when the next rally comes, because you can actually see it was sharper there. I think maybe make a something more like that, maybe even a bit steeper. But first of all, it has to work its way down to the origin of that, so let's move that over about there, say. That places a low in Euro Gold in February 2015 latest, and in earliest probably somewhere around there, which would be October, November. This is actually saying the first week in November, late October, early November 2014. So usually the final quarter of the year is bullish for the metals in the first quarter of the next year. So in the circumstances, it inclines me to say that this would happen sooner rather than later. So the suggestion is that gold is going to trade in this area, and having gotten through this, it will stop range trading and will trend, and will find support somewhere in this zone, and then take off and start to take out probably 2 overhead trend lines or 3 overhead trend lines at a time, and then falling back to sit on top of those and get ready for the next move. Well, okay, it'll take a while to see how that works out, but we'll just leave it on record and see what happens. That's it, just for the trend lines only. Thank you very much, and take care. Bye now.